Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Books, Girls, and Purrs. My name's Leslie. As you can see, I look like so frazzled right now. How do I do this? Okay, I'm about to start watching the episode. Just give me a second. I ran behind. Um, this is the one episode that I wanted to watch like at midnight when it came out, but I made myself stop. And man, oh man, avoiding all those spoilers because it's like I have the instinct that I want to spoil myself. And I read the book, so I feel like I know what's going to happen this episode. But hold up. And I have a couple of tech issues. So yeah, I'm a little bit behind. Let me see if my keyboard works because I couldn't connect it earlier today. So there's a little bit of a, let me see if I can do it. Because I don't want this to be awkward of me like going like this to type. So that's the thing. The other thing is, shoot. I may have to wear my headphones, and I don't know if I'm going to have any connection issues. So let me try and connect my Bluetooth headphones and see if like, let me know if you can hear me, by the way. And also, Angel Sashi, I'm so glad to see you here. uh, okay, what a day. All right, hopefully this works. Hello. Hello. All right, hopefully this works. Oh no, this sounds choppy. This does not sound good, right? You're right. Okay. Okay, it should work now. Can you hear me okay? What a bummer. This is really bright. All right. Okay, great. What a bummer. All right, so here's the thing. I'm gonna start watching it, and the reason why I wanted to make sure it sucks that I wanted to use the headphones because my daughter's in the other room and I just don't want her to hear because I'm gonna watch it with her later on, like at 7:30, because clearly I'm like starting so late. Um, I should have started at like 6, but here we are. So all right. I'm not, I'm gonna skip the pre-show. I'm pretty sure I know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be devastating. I genuinely have like my blanket and some tissue. Definitely. All right. All right. So I'm just gonna mute myself like I usually do for every episode, watch it, and hopefully my keyboard starts working. I already prepped the episodes. I'm right when the title card is about to go on. So I'm gonna skip. I know. I know. I'm gonna be a mess. I already know because I read the books, but I saw the trailer and I've been so busy. I was gonna do like a trailer reaction because I know what this episode means, but I just couldn't make it happen. Anyways, let me stop talking because then I'll never get to it. I'm gonna go ahead and type in right now watch party. Oh my goodness. Oh, my keyboard's still not working. This is gonna be a weird one. Out of pure frustration, I'm gonna try one more thing to connect this. It's so annoying that it won't connect. Oh my god, it worked. A miracle last minute. That happened to me last time. My keyboard worked like 5 minutes before I needed to use it. All right, everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself, watch the episode, and I'll just chat with you as we go along. I'm so excited. I forgot I'm muting I'm muting myself again now this time. Sorry. I just connected my keyboard. I'm glad that we're doing this all together. And let's start this watch party. Oh my god, is that where the episode ends? Oh my god. No. Armand blocking all the hands. The same word repeats. Are you serious? That's really where the episode ends? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Hold on. Okay, uh, hold on. This is really where it ends. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hold on. Okay, Angel Sashi. Okay, those are the words at Shocked said was important. See how it came back. Let me have some Sashi. Paris is about to be a poop show. I'm so confused because the trailer for the most recent trailer that came out this week, I thought everything was gonna be in this episode, that it was gonna be San Francisco and Paris, but I guess that's wrong. I guess it's gonna be that's why I'm totally confused. Okay, I'm actually not a wreck that I thought I was gonna be tonight, because I guess next episode will be Paris, and because of what's going on, I think next week will be Louis actually realizing the truth, or, like, figuring out what happened in Paris. Like, the truth versus what he was gonna say, because I'm sure Armand got in there. By the way, hello, everyone. Sorry, I just, like, launched into being in shock. Hello, everyone in the chat. Sorry. Angel Sashi says, I wish I could call in." Too much to type. My fingers can't keep up. I hope they change class. No, they're not going to. Not not in Anne Rice's universe. I wish. And yeah, I think that's wild. I guess I'm gonna take it as fact that Armand contacted Lestat, and that he didn't pass along the message. That is so fucked up. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still dumbfounded. Do you I understand that, like, Armand used his, the what do they call it? The conversion network, the conversion vampire network, to contact Lestat. But if that's true and Lestat really wanted to connect to Louis, wouldn't have he already been trying to do that? Wouldn't he be kind of like going through the network to find him through other, hopping on the telephone lines, the vampire telephone lines? I don't know. Yeah, this is incredible, but here's the deal. Because I prepared myself for I prepared myself for this being an episode that was covering this, but also I don't know why I thought in my mind. Actually, I do know why. It's because the trailer threw me off. And covering Paris, I thought I was gonna be a wreck. Like, I have tissues in my pocket because I was like, I am not gonna be okay. Um, so now I'm really trying to figure out. I'm so like, I'm reeling. All right. So Louis stepping into the sun makes sense, because I thought that Louis is gonna step in this into the sun like in episode 7. I thought that was gonna happen because actually that this okay, so if anyone's read, like, let's say, the first book and they try to watch this, they're kinda like, I know some people are like, "Oh, it's not true to the book." It is, because it's true to, like, there's a whole bunch of books, and there's a book, like, maybe 10 books in, 8 books in, where Louis does try that. He doesn't, like, perish or anything, but that does play out, and so I always thought when I was watching this iteration that he would do that at some point. So since it happened in the past, which is really, like, because Louis has a hard time dealing with, like, what happened in the past. I always thought that at some point that would happen. I just thought it would happen in Dubai, that he would come to, like, have to face his part in it all. Because so much of the time, even in their argument between Armand and Lestat, he's saying, like, Armand is pointing out, like, what Louis places on everyone else, and he can't move on from it because what ultimately he's not facing what, um his responsibility, right? And I think that would actually be a part of the closure, but he hasn't done that. And where am I going with this? Oh, so I felt like it makes sense that at that moment when they get into their argument and he's like thinking about his responsibility of it all, that's why he stepped into the sun. Oh my god, I can't believe they brought that up. I can't believe they went there. That was so dark. Angel Sashi. Okay, so am I the only one that kind of feels bad for Armand a little? I do feel a little bit bad for him. I think whatever his part was in the Paris incident, he is trying to atone. He's basically keeping Louis from, yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think they're locked. Mm, Armand wanted him for himself anyways, and you could see how it's so confusing. It's like Armand is doing all these terrible things, but in his head, he thinks he's protecting him. And also, like you said, trying to atone for like the past. Um, I'm so confused because we had that trailer that showed so much. I legitimately thought it was gonna be all in this episode. So now I'm all the way thrown off. But this was incredible. I love what they did with the San Francisco portion of the story overall. That I was not okay. Before I'll ask you first. What happened in this episode that you felt was unexpected? I'll say that, unexpected. So I'll say this for me. What was unexpected for me was I was not anticipating that Armand and Louis will be sitting together, and Louis was like, "Please remember, he's gonna be back from lunch soon." I was not expecting that for Louis to be so like unguarded and been being like, "Holy crap." You know, I'm all over the place. Very shocked. I'm really interested in how Armand's gonna play a part in the trial. I find book Armand colder than show Armand. I'll get to you Vera in a second. Yeah, I would say this. What the show has done has really laid the groundwork for how strong Armand is. I mean, he's been strong. I mean, I know he's like 500 years old, right? He's so strong that even back when he met Lestat, even in this iteration, he was able to like, kind of like freeze everyone or whatever. I don't know if that's considered stopping time or whatever. Um, and when you see him with his own coven, the humans like freeze, but he like is able to like push everyone's like head down type of thing. Maybe that was like putting them to sleep for a second. My point is now when they go back to their sessions, the three of them, Louis is gonna really understand that like he's gonna really have to face the fact that Armand cannot say that he didn't have the power to prevent what happened because he had the power the whole time to stop, to freeze people, even his own coven. And anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. Okay. Yeah, we are talking to Lestat. Oh yeah. Okay, that you were saying the switch. Yeah, I was not expecting that as well, but that makes sense. This is like what I love about this show is I I love the books too, right? But Anne Rice would do this thing, even from the first book to the second book. The first book is as we're seeing it play out right now, but then the second book um, is from a different character's point of view, and this character is kind of like, okay, I don't know why Louis said all those lies, but here we go from here. And then other times you could tell that she would have to layer things in because she's telling other characters' stories. And then, although they're all riveting and all great, it would kind of create plot holes if you look back at the material. Um, and so the fact that we have Armand talking to Lestat makes sense, right? Because if we find out books later that there was this way for everyone to connect, um, through their telepathic vampire party line, if you will, then it makes sense that we're seeing it like that being exercised now in this show right now. So I think they're kind of like realizing that, like, okay, if this ability happened like 3 books later, then it could be easily like adapted earlier on because it just exists, right? And so that's something I really love about this show is like this. It's incredible. I wasn't expecting Daniel to be upfront with Louis. Also, I wasn't expecting after Armand flexed his powers, when Louis told him to stop, he immediately went back to calling Louis Maitre. Yeah, this is. I see your other comment. I'm going to stick with this one for a second. All right, give me 1 second. I just want to get some water. Hold on. Will it be too bright if I put this up? I think we're okay. Sorry. All right, give me 1 second. Went out. Okay, come on. Come on. All right, let me stick with this Angel Sashi question. I wasn't expecting Daniel to be upfront with Louis. Yeah, me either, because it's like he's with vampires. Louis has been very like erratic at times, and whenever he's feels vulnerable, that's usually when he'll like lash out. So I was surprised that he felt like that he pushed him that much. But I do like his tactic, and I also felt like I think as both these characters have had very vulnerable moments this particular season between Louis in episode 1 like crying but being thankful for um Daniel, and then also at times like um Daniel reciprocating that vulnerability. I think that's why. But I also think he thinks no, I don't know. I don't know if I'm right about that. This ish is wild. Okay, also, I wasn't expecting after Armand flexed his powers. Oh, when Louis told him to stop, oh, their power dynamics. I think they're clearly like in a tumultuous time in their relationship. And like we see in Paris, Armand doesn't like to be the leader. I don't know if I'm going on the right track with this, but they're at in a point in the relationship where like Armand has said, "I'm so fucking tired of cleaning up after you," and also I know Louis calls him like, "Are you gremlin or the nurse?" I think Armand, like I know he's being mean, but you know what? Armand is tired of being the nurse, and that's where he's at that point in his relationship. He's like, "I'm tired of being that one. I I want to relinquish this and let you be in power and so I could be like, yes, daddy, I'll do what you want." And he's not in that place right now, right? That's what I was thinking about that, but it was pretty wild. And then I think Lestat is hurt somewhere, guys. I think there is something that kept him from not showing up for Louis when he heard from Armand. I don't know. Fudge. Ugh, I'm thinking about the books, I'm so confused. I think that's a great question. I don't know, like, I don't know how the vampire party line works here, so I don't know if it's like they could reach each other, but they don't really know where they're at. But that's a great question, and I don't know. Here's this question. Okay, I'll say it like this. In Paris, when Louis goes to visit like the financial lawyer guys, the associates, he says, he can't like legally pronounce him dead, or maybe he is asleep. And that is something that vampires do, when they don't necessarily want to off themselves, but they'll put themselves in a coffin and they'll go to like a basically it's like hibernating, where vampires are like, I can't handle this time, like I'm not transitioning well, like as time goes on, and they will do that. So I'm wondering if he was in a sleep state. That's what I'm wondering. And that if or actually, I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm gonna be watching this episode so many times, I'm telling you. Yeah, that was odd. Very odd. Yeah. I really think Daniel is the only friend Louis has right now. Yeah, which is so messed up, right? Which is like the fact that someone okay, so this is something that we noticed from San Francisco, just like when they're spending time together, which is that, Daniel, he's in his junkie years. I get that. But they did somehow connect. And even back then, Armand saw that Louis was connecting to someone he just met more than he does with Armand. And I think that Daniel showing up again is once again Louis connecting to Daniel, and he's tapping into his vulnerability in a way that Armand could never reach, right? Yeah, I think Lestat's hurt too. Ooh, I'm so wondering about what's going on in this adaptation. Armand told him he was not going to tell Lestat where they were. Okay, okay, that's right. Thank you. So far, I've watched each episode 4 times. And it's gonna happen again. Lestat loves Louis. If he heard Louis try to off himself, he would show up. Something was up with that, I think. Oh my god, this is gonna mess me up. Okay, that I'm saying it now. Episode 8, I don't know what it's gonna take, but Lestat is gonna show up and grab his boo. Yeah, I'm calling it now. Plus, his voice sounded weird, kind of like when Louis was telling Claudia that he was okay when him and Lestat were, yeah, was fighting. It's gonna make me so sad. Armand told Lestat Louis has hurt himself. Maybe Lestat at least suspected Louis tried to off himself. Yeah. No. The show. Give me 1 second. I'm going right back up because I'm trying to remember something. All right, I'm going back. Sorry, I'm catching up to everybody. Where was I? Okay, here I am. Angel Sashi says, "What I really don't understand is if Armand knew that bringing Daniel back would expose him, why is he allowing this?" I don't know. Yeah, the show has the best lines. The way that they capture Anne Rice's voice, um, her prose is incredible. There are just certain sections of dialogue, like I'll say for season one, where they just grabbed it and placed it with better like dynamic context. That's incredible, and that's hard to do because Anne Rice is incredible. Side note: Young Daniel was a freak. Although he was ready to drop it all for Louis. Yeah. Oh my God. There's so many things I'm thinking about. Hold on. Hold on. Um, Let me go back here for a second. Hold on. This old brain is brewing. Hold on. All right. I think I have the answer for Louis. And I think Armand answered that. When Armand puts Louis in his coffin, he tells him, "Yeah, about the reporter that you, yeah, you're creating this like this messed up narrative for Lestat because he wants it to be out in the world so that it will be on the shelves of bookstores and that in the hopes that Lestat will see it and come looking for him." So I think that's why. I think right there we're getting the reason why Louis did that in the past and why he's doing it again in the present because he doesn't remember that conversation. He only, or maybe I'm wrong. Only remembers until like you know um the Armand glamour came in. So I genuinely think that's what this interview is about, and I think love that idea because when Armand says that chunk of dialogue of why he's saying like why Louis did it, that's actually what happens in the books. Um, when book two starts, that's what Lestat says. He's like, "Oh, I saw the book Interview and the Vampire on the shelves. I don't know what kind of this is lies, lies, but I still love Louis." And so I think they just kind of use that idea and they're changing it for the adaptation, and it's incredible. I really think that's what's going on. That at least we have an understanding of why Louis is doing this interview, and I think it's for that. Is that in a very passive aggressive way, he wants the set to find him. That's what I think is going on. Side note, young Daniel was a freak. You know what? I feel so dumb. You know what I realized? Sometimes the simple answer is the answer. When I was seeing the trailers for this, I like, I had like a theory, and all my theories are always wrong. Was that like because we see that cutaway of the dead body, and then we see Armand glamoring. I keep calling it glamoring because I don't want us to call it Daniel about his past and how he talked a woman into putting a bag over her head. I thought that was like Armand trying to like implement a false memory into Daniel so that he wouldn't remember the body. That's what I thought. But now I'm like, oh no, I think that's real. And it's actually about the fact that on some level, like Daniel is in the closet. And so I now think that that's what that moment was about. And I didn't think about it till like I was watching it this time. I think unfortunately that bad interaction with a woman was actually because, he doesn't wanna be with a woman. That's what I think. Vera Morris says, "Maybe Armand is done with Louis, like when he let Lestat destroy his coven." Yeah, I also think maybe maybe for Armand, although, we're seeing this particular interaction, whew, it's a really, like, loaded conversation, but remember, these are all horror books, so their relationships are always toxic. I think that, hmm, I think that maybe they're both done with each other. But, they're toxic, so they're not just breaking it up. They need something explosive to happen before it gets there. They're both passive aggressive in their own way. Yeah, he has everyone do his dirty work. Yeah, that's so true. I didn't think of that. That's very true, Vera. Yeah. Oh my God, Vera, you might be onto something. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. It can never be easy. It can never be like, you know what? I don't think this relationship's not working out. Let's go our separate ways. Nope. They have to play the chess game. My God, they're wild. And also going back to that dynamic of like, maybe it's not easy to break it up with Louis, right? Because he also feels like he's so indebted to him. Angie Sashi just thought that Louis did say, Daniel live as a testament to their companionship. So maybe when Louis brought up the second interview, Armand couldn't say no. Oh, oh my God. Like, he's so emotional. Yeah, he's sticking it to him and he's sticking it to him to good. Oh shoot, hold on, my phone went off. Armand could glamour anyone else or anyone he wants, but Louis just glamours him with that sweet, sweet love, I think. Angel Sashi. Oh my God, just a thought. Well, did Lestat really destroy the coven? That was Armand's point of view. I still don't trust him. Yeah, I don't trust Armand's point of view at all. There's like some things that don't match up. If we're gonna go back to that episode, I think Armand is BSing because he says that he there's everything from Armand's point of view does not match up. So I don't know where to start. But saying that, I just don't buy it. I think Lestat pulled like a checkmate move, just like Santiago did. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't think because my mind is everywhere. Because let me think about this. Let's go back there because that's what Armand says. But then I still feel like the coven is like a cult. So if the coven has been modernized to this theater troupe, then why are the laws still in place? I feel like the coven still exists in its old form. They're just doing theater, and that's the messed up part. And that could only be um, what do you call it? Continue to be applied because wants it that way. And so I don't know where I'm going with this. I already lost the thread of my thought, basically. But I don't trust Armand. I don't even like the way that I also think it's his point of view. Like he felt like he was used by Lestat. That may be true from his point of view, but now we have to think about, okay, what was the reason? What was the reason that Lestat would do that? I don't think he would just do that to do that. And we see that he had a relationship with Nikki when he was human, um, and that Armand just took him away. You think he's just gonna leave Nikki like that? Like, okay, see ya, bye? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not buying any of it. Yeah. Barrymore says, I feel like Lestat was just paying, yeah, Armand back because of destroying Nikki. I definitely think so. And it's like it's like we're all seeing it. And see, this is like why it's so well crafted. Is us as an audience, we're seeing like what Armand is trying to sell, and we're not buying it. We're like, wait a minute, you just took this boy and like he didn't take to being a vampire well, and clearly Lestat loves him. You think Lestat's gonna turn around and be like, "Hey, I love you"? No, my dear, you messed up big time, and like, no, he's not. The full picture is not there. And it's I also feel like because we see that, and this is a story that, Armand is selling, it's upsetting that, like, Louis doesn't see it, that that's not true. Angel Sashi, what if that is just a story Armand told? I mean, he's powerful, Armand, and he made Lestat destroy his coven because I was tired of leading, something don't smell right. Very shocked. Oh my god, and when Louis asked if Armand was gonna cut his hands off during the fight. Does he know about Nikki? Ooh. Oh my god. Yeah. You are so right. Very shocked. Yes, shocked. Yes. Listening. Something else is going on. P.S. Just found that out today because I never read the books. Yeah, okay, and going back to that, in episode 4, when Lestat drops like the statue, what do you call it? Whatever it's made out of, statue Jesus on the crucifix. And what does he do? He picks up a hand, the hand of Jesus severed. And I was like, symbolism. I'm feeling so sad. I feel so bad for Louis and the fact that Armand didn't pass along the message. I'm still stuck on that. Oh my god. My god, what an episode. What an episode. Dude, hold on tight because I'm looking at my notes. I don't want to say it in case anybody hasn't read the books, but we are in for like some surprises. Oh my god. Okay, now I remember something else I wanted to say. Um, oh shoot. You know, I'm gonna look it up. Um, okay. I guess it makes the Zodiac killer makes more sense. Okay. So what I was thinking about was, you know, I'm not keeping track of anybody nonfiction serial killers over here, okay? So I was kind of wondering about this takes place in the 70s, and I couldn't remember when Son of Sam happened, and I knew that serial killer was like in New York, and that was like a frightening time, and that they were going off after specifically like blonde women, right? So I was thinking about the idea of like that's gonna be a terrible time that Daniel comes across these vampires and is like brutalized. And then we have this whole other thing going on, heightened, in the nonfiction real world, right? But this is the world that they encompass. And so they mentioned the Zodiac killer. So I'm like, okay, that makes more sense because Son of Sam is like it starts in 76 or whatever. But I thought that was interesting. I thought that was like important that they brought that up because ultimately, what are these vampires? They're just a bunch of serial killers. And so I feel like it's important, like even this episode showing the horrors of what they do is so important because as a viewer and the story that Daniel is being told, we get so like entranced, kind of like Louis says in season 1, he's like, "Let the tale seduce you," and we have to keep reminding ourselves, like, "Oh no, they're just a bunch of serial killers." It's so wild. I'm sorry. Ah, hold on. Okay, my computer got stuck. All right, Very Shocked says LOL, and she says, "I feel each episode gets better and better." Very Shocked. God knows Armand's version of Nikki's. Oh yeah, who knows what lie he made up for his own sake. Louis could be very much in the dark. That's very true. Yeah. Angel Sashi, yeah, but he does not do well to becoming a vampire. He went mad after Lestat turned him and he ran to the theater with Armand. Yeah, but part of him being going mad was because correct me if I'm wrong because it's been a while. Because of how Armand treated him in the first place. Yeah, it's so bad. But you know what? I'm pretty sure that's going to be next season. It's too much to cover now, and like with the trajectory of where the show's going. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think? I don't know. I don't want to be optimistic, but I feel like Daniel will survive this season. I feel like Daniel will either survive this season or he will be like on the brink of death to the point where he gets made a vampire. I think. I don't know. Either way, we're in for like a wild ride. And oh, there was a line when Armand said, "She never loved you," to Louis, and Louis said yes. Why would Louis think Claudia never loved him? Yeah, I definitely think we're seeing like even with Louis, like an edited version of the truth. In my opinion, excuse me, in my opinion, I think Claudia was tired of Lestat and Louis, and she left. Right in season 1, she left, and she was brutalized and came back. I think her coming back didn't didn't necessarily really have to do with her love for Louis. I think it was, not that she doesn't care about them, but I think it more has to do with she knows she has proof, a traumatic proof that she cannot survive out there on their own. I think she came back for Louis purely out of her own, like for her own advantage, and she's like, one of these mofos has to come with me, and I'm gonna pick him because he's the lesser of evils, not because she truly loves him. She 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 needed him physically to be there, in case she needed to be defended. So she was gonna lie any way that she could to keep him around for her own survival because she can't survive on her own and she also couldn't make a vampire on her own, right? So she really is um she's really like She's stuck under there. She's trapped. She's trapped without someone, um, without an adult companion, I think. So I think that's where it comes from. And like she said, he always picked other people over Claudia. Yeah, they tortured Nikki badly and broke him. Yeah. I think Nikki was mad at Lestat for hiding after becoming a vampire. Okay. Yeah, that messed him up too. Dude, when we get to Nikki, it's gonna be terrible. I'm hoping that they just kind of wait on clearing that up till next season. 'Cause it deserves more time than there's time to hit the ground running. I'm so upset because that means next episode is all in Paris, and I'm just like, I don't know how the Dubai scenes are gonna be next next episode. Do you think Claudia does something to betray Louis and had her own part in what happened in Paris? Hmm. Oh shoot. I don't know. I don't even know the answer. I I don't know. I don't think it's that. I think that kind of like in the trailer, we see that she just gets like pissed and really goes off on Louis. And we get like a glimpse of her real feelings. Um and yeah, I think I don't know. I don't necessarily I don't think she's gonna sabotage or throw Louis under the bus. I could be wrong. But there's definitely a hatred here and something that when it comes to Claudia, she is her father's daughter, and I'm talking about Lestat because even though her and Louis have a connection, there's so many similarities between Lestat and Claudia, and I think that's why they butt heads so much at times. In season one, Lestat says, what does he say? He says, embrace who you are. You know, you're a killer, you're a vampire to Louis. And in this season, Claudia says, where's your vampire pride? And that's something that Louis doesn't have. He just, I almost wonder if Lestat and Claudia both are like frustrated and see that as a weakness in Louis, how he won't accept who he is. Um, because ultimately Lestat made Louis, so he should be just as powerful as Lestat. I think that's all because our what do you call Louis doesn't even try. And for someone like Claudia that is kind of like a weaker build because she was made as a teenager, wouldn't you be pissed if you knew there's things you couldn't do to your full capacity, but this other person next to you can and they still won't do it? I'd be pissed too. Where am I at? Sorry, I went up on a tangent. Let me go back. Nikki is such a complex character. He deserves a spotlight. Yeah, I agree. I mean, isn't there a line in the trailer when Danielle read in her diaries, "F these vampires"? So maybe she does something. Yeah, I don't know if it's that or if it's just like she just is frustrated by being treated like trash. You know, like they call her flea. The episode, which one was it? Was it last episode? Episode 4? When you know what I didn't like, I felt uncomfortable with right away was that in Louis' apartment when they're with Claudia in Paris and Armand comes in and he tells her to look down, that really bothered that like really got under my skin that she can't even look eye to eye to them. Like, and then they call her flea. He gives her that little thing that has like toy that has fleas on it. I understand there's like a level of hazing, but there's just something that like really bothered me about that. And I feel like they're just treating her like crap. And we're seeing it through this lens, and I feel like Louis was missing the point that it was more than just hazing. And I don't know. I don't know. I can go in circles. Remember when Claudia wrote in her diary that she didn't dream, but Louis remembered that she did. Maybe something from her recounting of Lestat will be contested. Oh, ish. Oh my God. Angel Sashi. It might not be all Louis and Armand. Maybe she does something, and that's Louis thinks she didn't love him. This is so fucked up. I'm enjoying Delaney, but I would have also liked to have seen what Billy Bass would have done at this point in the story. Yeah, I'm like so conflicted because I like both actresses, and the fact that I live in a time where I'm getting that's three different portrayals of Claudia, and one it's not like I prefer one actress over the other. I just wish there had been only one actress playing the part, right? Because for all the book readers, there's so much love um for the character of Claudia. Um and there's also like this connection that we as an audience have when an actor portrays the character. It would have just been nice if it was one actor the whole time, but I'm not choosing one over the other. But Delaney has been incredible. I also feel like just like you're saying that, I wish we would have had a chance to see what Delaney would have done with the first season, right? But ultimately, that would have never happened because Delaney was busy um, performing in theater, right? So it's wild. Me too, but at least Delaney is doing it justice. Yeah, they're both doing like it's. I'm so excited. And that look last week, I'm so stuck on it. When Delaney has to put on her lipstick and you just see it like in her eyes, like she's trying not to cry. That took me out. When Armand used Lestat's murder against Claudia, I was done. And he had to have known Santiago was an earshot. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think that's why he said it. I think that's why he said it because Santiago would listen. I mean, was listening. Yeah. That's why I get so conflicted in my mind about um how crafty Armand is and why I'm so conflicted when because part of me thinks like it's annoying that Armand says like, "Oh, I let Lestat um, destroy the coven as it was." But then when we have moments like this that you're bringing up, I'm kind of like, maybe that's true because this would be a big chess game. And once again, it's not like Armand just up and leaves the coven. No, he likes to play the games. So this would be like a way to have someone do like the dirty work without him having to lift a finger. So yeah, same. He was wrong for that. Yeah. Angel Sashi, I just needed the men in the show to keep their hands off her. Lestat, Louis, and Armand felt the need to, yeah, hammer up against the wall. Yeah. Yeah, and that's it. So I could see why I could see why Louis would feel like, "Oh, Claudia didn't love me." I'm like, "Yeah, because you guys treat her like trash." She really is stuck under their thumb. She's in a position where she can't survive without an adult being, her quote unquote companion. And she really is um stuck that if when they treat her like that, she has no choice but to stick around because she's already seeing it's like trying to choose a lesser evil because there's more like just there's worse people out there. And so she's stuck. Yeah, and Louis Downing her. What a I try to keep my language to minimum. Mm-mm. But that's what you know what, that's what Claudia pointed out last season, like, before they got into it, like, when she was really getting into it with, Lestat. I can't remember what it like, Lestat pushed her or something, and she even says, like, "Louis, are you just gonna let him treat me like this?" And then he doesn't do anything. Yeah, poor sweet Claudia, I just want her to have a good decade. Oh, well. It's rough. It's rough being a vampire. Angel's actually I'm conflicted at how they made Claudia not her crafty self this season. I don't know. Yeah, but you know what? It like in season 1, it took her a long time to get to that place. Not that she like not to downplay her craftiness, but it's more like it was because she was pushed so far and had been through so much that she felt like um there was a lot for her to get there to have to scheme because she felt trapped. And so this season, I don't necessarily know. I don't really, I don't know if I'm wrong for saying this. I don't necessarily think that she's less crafty. I just don't think she understands up until like last episode, because that's different. But before that time, I think she didn't realize um how much of a threatening situation she's in. I think she lets her guard down because she so desperately wants to be accepted, I think. But I don't agree with, like, how she has her, diaries all left out. That was kind of annoying. I felt like she had been through so much. She wouldn't have, like they have floorboards there. Why didn't she hide her diaries under a floorboard or something? Or, like, have it in a drawer? They were just out and about for someone to grab. So that part was kind of annoying. She's so tragic. Her biggest sin in her own existence, yeah. She definitely deserved better, yeah. Angel Sashi, guys, did she leave the diaries out on purpose because this was not chess playing Queen Claudia? Yeah, that's why I felt kinda like that's a weird one. I'm trying to think of something else from last season. Yeah, that didn't work for me, but maybe we'll see something else, like, play out, but and that, like, Louis and Claudia do have a lot of conversations, loud conversations, and I just keep thinking, "You guys have telepathy. Why aren't you guys just" if I had that, I would never move my mouth. I would just be using telepathy the whole time, if I was with that like another vampire all the time, like why verbalize? But yeah. Oh my god. What an episode. This is wild. I want to say more, but I don't want to ruin any surprises for anyone. But I'll tell you, there's some things in this episode that I was like, "Oh f." Um, oh my god, this is so wild. You know what? When Armand comes back, it feels like that moment where it's like Louis truly realizes that the call's coming from inside the house. That's what I was thinking. I was like, "Louis, you're in danger, girl. You gotta get out." Mm. And in last season, Louis said something. I mean, Armand said something about how Louis never goes out anymore. Do you think it all stems from the fact that he had stepped in the sun? So Armand just keeps him in all the time. He thinks he's protecting him, but really he's like imprisoning him, right, in this relationship. Um, do you think he's gonna try to get out? Not step into the sun, but try to get out, and he better take Daniel with him. Brian Morris. Yeah, I should probably bring this to a close because I'll just keep talking. Have a very nice weekend. I don't know. I don't know if I should do this at the same time or start watching at midnight. Hey everyone, let me know if you're gonna end up watching earlier. Because if you will, I swear I'll watch next week's episode at midnight or something. I don't know. Or I could wait. I'm all over the place. But usually I start watching at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Angel Sachet. Louis cannot keep a straight face. The moment Armand walked in, his jaw was tight. Yeah, that's very true. Maybe she trusted the coven. Ooh, okay. Uh, maybe she thought they would never break into her home. I don't know. Her leaving the diaries out was weird. Yeah, I just thought it was weird. I don't know. I don't have any diaries, but I want to just leave them strewn about. I don't know. Yeah, very nice chatting. Yeah. All right. Yeah. It is 8:13 Pacific Standard Time. Um, is there anything else that you want to discuss before I bring this to a close? I'm gonna open my window while you're typing. Oh my goodness. This episode was enthralling. This is the second episode where the when it ends, I'm like, "Ugh, don't end." Because last week the episode ended and I just heard like I think Armand saying a sentence and I cut it off and I was like, don't end the episode here. So it's been wild. Yeah. Very shocked. I think I'm going to 50 minutes past. All right. Well, I'm gonna stick with the 6 p.m. time for my watch time. Um, but you know what? I'm gonna make myself wait. I'm so impatient. And yeah, I'm gonna make myself wait. All right. So have a very nice what am I trying to say? Have a very nice night. Very shocked. Yeah, have a nice weekend. Love being here. Yeah, I love talking to everyone in the chat. This is just so nice because we need to debrief after these episodes. And I think next episode is going to crush me. But yeah, have a good night. I think that's it. It's been a yeah. All right. Good night, everyone. I'm going to watch the episode again, and I'll see you next weekend. We'll do this again. Thank you for being in therapy session with me. Yeah, picking lint off the sofa. Yeah. On that note, let's bring this to a close. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of a line that I could repeat here. All right. Good night, my criminal biscuits. I'll talk to you next weekend. Bye.